Luke chapter 16. He gave an analogy to his disciples. There was a rich man who had a manager, and accusations were being made that he was embezzling his property. His superior called him and asked him, "What is this I hear about you? Make me a final accounting of your management. You can no longer be my manager." The manager thought to himself, "What can I do since my superior is about to take away my management position? I am unable to dig and ashamed to become a beggar. I know what to do to ensure that when I'm removed from management, I'll be welcome in other homes." So he called each of his superior's debtors and said to the first, "How much do you owe my superior?" He told him 100 measures of oil. So he told him, "Sit down quickly with your bill and write 50 measures. He asked another, "How much do you owe my superior?" He told him 100 cores of wheat. So he told him, "Sit down quickly with your bill and write 80 cores. His superior commended the dishonest manager for having acted shrewdly, because our contemporaries in this age are shrewder than the enlightened people. So I tell you, make friends with the unrighteous wealth, so that in the end they may welcome you into everlasting homes." A person who is responsible with a little will also be responsible with much, and a person who is dishonest with a little will also be dishonest with much. So if you haven't been trustworthy with unrighteous wealth, who would trust you with true wealth? If you haven't been trustworthy with something that isn't yours, who would give you something of your own? No servant can serve two masters, because they'll either hate the one and love the other, or they'll honor the one and despise the other. You can't serve both Jehovah and wealth. When the Pharisees heard all these things, they ridiculed him because they loved money. Yeshua told them, "People like you appear to be righteous to others, but Jehovah knows your minds. The things that are highly valued by people are idolatrous abominations to Jehovah." The Torah and the prophets were everything until John. Since then, the good news of the kingdom of Jehovah has been proclaimed, and all kinds of people are pressing to enter in. It is easier for heaven and earth to pass by than for one seraph of the Torah to fall, or perish, for example, come to an end, disappear, or cease. Whoever divorces his wife and marries another commits adultery, and whoever marries a woman who is divorced commits adultery. There was a rich man who dressed himself in fine linen and scarlet, and spent every day basking in luxury. And there was a poor man named Lazarus, who was laid by the gate of the rich man, covered with sores. He wanted to fill his belly with the crumbs that fell from the rich man's table. Dogs used to come and lick his sores. Eventually, the poor man died. The spirit messenger transported him to Abraham's bosom. The rich man also died and was buried. Being tormented in Sheol, he looked up and saw Abraham in the distance and Lazarus by his side. So he called out, "Father Abraham, have mercy on me, and send Lazarus to dip the tip of his finger in water and moisten my tongue, because I'm suffering greatly in these flames." But Abraham replied, "My son, remember that you've received your good things during your lifetime, and Lazarus had bad things. But now he is being comforted, and you are suffering. And besides, there is a vast chasm set up between us and you, so that anyone who might want to cross from here to you can't, nor can anyone cross from there to us." He said, "Then I beg you, Father, send him to my father's house, because I have 5 brothers. Have him go and warn them, so that they don't also end up in this place of torment? Abraham replied, They have Moses and the prophets. They should listen to them. But he replied, No, Father Abraham, but if someone were to go to them from the dead, they'd change their ways. Abraham told him, If they won't listen to Moses and the prophets, they wouldn't, didn't, believe even if someone were to rise from the dead.